Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Roser here with 2024 Ruston standout Ahmad Breaux, also a member of that 2024 LSU commitment class as of a month or so ago. And you flashing the L already. We're going to talk a lot about how you kind of came to that decision to stay in the home state because you have had a lot of options come your way over the last few months. But man, how has 2023 been treating you so far? A few months into this thing.
2023 started off crazy, man. I came back from Christmas break and after that, the dead period opened up again, and I was getting a lot of contacts from a lot of coaches, and Duke was number one on my list since they offered me back in November. And after like talking to a lot of universities and not really liking they what they were saying and everything, kind of wasting my time a little bit, some of them, and some of them holding out on me. I was like, no, I'm gonna commit to the people who were true to me the entire time, you know what I mean? And that's what I did. A few days after I went up for a visit, uh back in late January, um and committed on the 26th. And a couple days later, on my birthday, matter of fact, John Belton, the director of
Mm-hmm.
recruiting at LSU, he called me and texted me wishing me a happy birthday and everything. He's like, I want to hop on the phone. And after that call, everything just changed. It's like, we kept building this relationship, started getting in contact with the coaching staff, and I started really getting family vibes from LSU when I hopped on FaceTime with the whole defensive staff and everything. And I went up for a visit, where I eventually got my offer from LSU. I was like, yeah, this is where I want to be. I'm from Lafayette, you know what I mean, from Karen Crow, and LSU. I had to take that because I grew up a Tiger. So
I was gonna ask you some of your background because someone had told me you had even spent time lived in North Carolina at some point when you were younger, and then I knew that you had. I mean, you'd come from South Louisiana. Just kind of take me through your childhood, different places you lived, when you first sort of took notice of LSU, and some of those early purple and gold memories, and how significant it was to get that opportunity finally.
yeah, man. So I lived in a number of places. Like it's gonna get confusing. So I was born in Karen Crow, Louisiana, like right north of Lafayette, right? So I was raised there for the most part, and then after that, we moved up to Fayetteville, or like Bentonville, the Bentonville area up in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
And for a minute, I wanted to be a Razorback. I ain't gonna lie, for a minute, but I wasn't thinking about football yet. You know what I mean? So then after that, after about like half a year, we moved back to Lafayette, and I stayed there for like a good remainder of elementary school. And about fifth grade, I moved up to North Carolina for the first time because my dad, he went up there for work, so I moved with him because me and my mom, we kind of hit like a little bump in a financial crisis and had to move with him. And it was I didn't really like it though up there. You know what I mean? Just it wasn't really me. You know what I mean? So I moved back to Louisiana, and my mom was taking a travel job. She was a travel medical lab technologist. So she happened to be in Ruston at the time of me moving back. So
Mm-hmm.
when I moved back, she was like, "I'm not gonna move back to Lafayette. I'm gonna stay in Ruston." So that's how I even found out about the place, and it became home. You know what I mean? Um, then I moved back up to North Carolina for the second time, a similar situation, and I stayed up there from eighth grade to the big to like the end of my freshman year. So I played my freshman year up in North Carolina. We had a spring season during COVID, so I played that for like 2 games. So I never really had a freshman year. And then I moved back, and I was thrown into the fire. The fire we scrimmaged in the car in the spring in Ruston. You know, when they had Aaron Anderson and them, and it was crazy. And, you know, I knew I had to step my game up. So yeah.
What about, and I mean, you even moving around, spending time in Arkansas, spending time in North Carolina, you talk about Louisiana as being home and how good you feel to be here. What about Louisiana is home? What makes you love this state and this state's football and the opportunity to represent the state at the next level and all those things? What makes Louisiana? What makes you a Louisiana guy
And
above all else?
cause it's like it's no other place like it on earth. You know what I mean? It's I was raised here. I grew up on Zydeco. I grew up on crawfish. I grew up, Louisiana, gumbo, all that. And our heritage is different and we come from a different cloth. You know what I'm saying? We raised a hustle from birth. I mean, go get it, chase our dreams. And I wanna take my I wanna stay here and keep Louisiana, because with some of the best athletes on earth, some of the best people on earth. And I want to make this state better, not go anywhere else with it. And I take that pride with me wherever I go. I took it to Arkansas. I took it to North Carolina. So, but I'm gonna keep it here,
I mean,
Louisiana State University.
you're chatting on Louisiana versus all y'all channels, so you're preaching to the choir a little bit with some of that. You you mentioned Arkansas as a potential place to go to school stood out at a young age when you were spending some time up there and living in that state. What were some of your early memories of LSU football, whether it be specific players or seasons, teams, games, anything like that? When did you kind of first caught your attention as as a top flight program that you could look up to and would potentially want to play at one day?
So, it started real young. I actually had this is what really sparked it. You know what I mean? I grew up on LSU, because of my parents, but when I really wanted to be a Tiger was when I had a cousin that went to LSU, Brakeet Mouton.
Mm-hmm.
I went to see him play Destrehan in the dome when I was like 6, and he played for Acadiana. He was a tight end, and when I saw the way he played, the fact that he's going to LSU, I'm like, man, like that's greatness. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be like him, and he made me fall in love with the game too. So ever since, you know what I mean, I wanted to be a Tiger. So.
You mentioning being about 6 when Brakeetha was playing in a state championship game officially has made me feel super old to feel how much time has passed since that Wrecking Rams team was going through, and then Brakeetha obviously ending up out here. For LSU fans that are getting a chance to know more and more about you, whether it be just kind of hearing some interviews and learning more about you as a young man, or flipping on the huddle and seeing some of the things you're doing up there for the Bearcats, what are you hoping that they get a chance to know about who you are and what you're bringing to a football program, to to a team and a university and a community and everything down here when you come?
And when I get down there, I want them to know that I'm trying to bring this team even closer together than it already is. You know what I mean? The locker room at LSU, first thing I noticed is that it was tight. I wanted to get tighter. You know what I'm saying? So that team chemistry I'm trying to build is gonna make the team better, the university better. I'm just trying to be the best person I can be too. Sure.
How much have you had a chance to chat with some of these other 24 commits so far? I saw like moments before we hopped on here, Zion Ferguson is asking, who do fans want y'all to start recruiting and get to join the class? I know different groups of y'all are getting a chance to run into each other and spend some time with each other a little bit on camp and 7-on-7 circuits and stuff like that. There's a few of y'all from in-state, a few guys out of state. How much are y'all kind of chatting and chopping up what the future can hold for y'all?
Yeah, we've been chatting a lot. As a matter of fact, we have a commit group chat. So like anybody in there, you can say anything. We conversate when we see each other too. Like I linked up with Tavion Galloway out of
Mm-hmm.
out of Ohio. He was at the last visit, and me and him, like we gained some chemistry after that visit because man, that's a cool dude right there. And like other commits, like I remember the first time I went on an LSU visit, it was back in March 4th. I saw Collage was sitting behind me on the bus, Collage Cobbins,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't recognize him at first because like you can see it through a helmet, but I just had to make sure. I was like, "You look familiar." He was like, "Yeah, my name's Collage Cobbins. I go to Destrehan," and then I just like, I was like, "Dang, bro!" And then he was like, where you from?" He was like, "I'm from Ruston, bro." And like, we clown over that on the bus and everything, and everybody I come across, it's no bad blood at all, man. It's family, for real.
Yeah, Destrehan and Ruston have certainly had some battles in the playoffs through the years. Two prominent programs and two teams that I think folks look at for y'all's senior year and see as two of the teams to beat again in 2023 fall when it rolls around. You guys up there in Ruston, you have so many key pieces coming back. Obviously, you have to replace a few notable guys in, a Jaden Osborne on the offensive side, a Christian Davis right there up front with y'all on defense, and a few others, Dyson Fields in the backfield on offense as well. Those of y'all that are back, though, you and Jordan Guidry and Jaden Mayfield and company, what have been some of y'all's conversations as y'all start to realize, okay, spring ball's getting pretty close. This is our last ride. What's the conversation like for the Ruston Bearcats this offseason?
So between, the seniors, of course, the upcoming seniors, like you said, it's our last ride. We have nothing else to leave on the table, but our best. So we've been trying to adjust, as much as we can to the changes. You know what I'm saying? Like losing Christian Davis, there's gonna be like some changes with me specifically on the D line. Like I'm gonna be the one switching between D tackle and DN, like I kind of did last year, um, on the D line. So I'll be doing that. And with Jaden Osborne, we have a new quarterback, Josh Brantley. I brought him on my visit actually, and he's gonna be raw. We practiced today, dying, dying for real. So yeah, that's gonna be exciting. And of course, we have Jordan Hayes still, and we have a new upcoming running back, Dallon Brooks, and I think that duo is gonna be like equal, if not even better than last year. And I really have faith in them. So in the O line, a good D line is gonna build a great O line. So yeah, that's what we had planned.
You mentioned Josh Brantley. There, for folks in y'all's area, I know there's some buzz for him. For folks like me or Sam Spiegelman or guys down here that are kind of tapped in, we know that's a name to keep an eye on, but we haven't seen him take the full reins of the offense. But there again is an awful lot of buzz for the talent that he has. You've seen this guy in practice behind the scenes the last couple years, and you're speaking very highly of him now. What should folks expect to see as he steps into that full-time starter role for that offense? Because again, from afar, it feels like he has a chance to be really special, and it sounds like that's what you're seeing on an everyday basis as well.
Oh, Josh is Josh is gonna be like Josh is gonna be phenomenal. Like our offense is in great hands. He's an outspoken leader. He plays for the team. He's not selfish at all, and he's very accountable. He's very coachable. I believe he can really take our offense to a whole new level, and that buzz is earned. But we're gonna see it soon, come May 1st on our spring practice. So that's gonna be good.
And you mentioned some for your role too. You're a guy that we've seen play even both sides of the ball, tight end, defensive end. And you mentioned you were that much more versatile on the defensive front this past year, which is something that definitely stood out to me, how much you were sliding everywhere, for every position across the defensive front. How did you enjoy that? Just kind of having that much more versatility on that side of the ball specifically. Are there whether it be college guys, NFL guys, whoever it may be, guys that you have kind of looked up to or try to model things after? How do you kind of view yourself, particularly as a long-term guy, and what you can do on the defensive line? Because you're showing a lot of it thus far, a lot of different things.
Yeah. Like I really try to model my game after Chase Young. That's why I watched the entire time I've actually started taking football serious because I just started taking it serious ninth grade, when high school started. And that versatility, it comes from a lot of experience at a lot of different positions. Like early stages, I used to be a linebacker, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really weigh a lot. And that versatility on the D line eventually came with, putting on weight, and that's what I'm continuing to do. So I can, help my team up front because Lord knows we need it, you know what I'm saying? Front. So that's what I'm doing.
Kind of winding it down. Anything else you want folks to know about you, your family, your expectations for this year or beyond, or anything like that as they get a chance to learn more and more about you?
My expectations for this year, for our team, I I don't expect nothing less. I expect better. You know what I'm saying? Our team expects better, and we expect to go back to New Orleans and finally take it all. So yeah, the expectation is not going away. Just know we're gonna be the same Bearcats, better Bearcats this year. So,
There you go, man. Again, he's Ahmad Breaux, a standout in that talented 2024 class that Ruston has, winding things down next school year, and he is also already a member of that talented early on 2024 LSU class for Louisiana versus all y'all, Jared Roser.